Counselors Craft a Curious Path with Ruby and Olivia.
Hi, I'm Caitlin Ruby Miller, a multidisciplinary artist, singer-songwriter, therapist, and wisdom seeker with a background in opera, ceramics, and photography.
And I'm Olivia Candosia. I'm an actor, theater director, voiceover artist, early childhood educator, and drama therapist. We are both neurodiverse therapists who strive to infuse more wonder, authenticity, and joy into modern life. We're here to share our hearts and stories, and in turn, listen to yours. Here we gather with you to craft the curious path of life, therapy, and art. Welcome and co-create with us. Welcome. Hi.
The Counselors Craft a Curious Path. Hi, Olivia.
Hi, Caitlin. Happy
to
to be
see you.
here. Yes, nice to see you
So
too.
happy to be here. So I thought we had about today's episode is to focus it on the archetype of the fool and to sort of reverse roles from the last two episodes where Olivia was more like leading the therapy prompts, and now I'll be leading the therapy prompts and Olivia will be the client. So the archetype of the fool, both Olivia and I resonate with in many different ways. The fool related to tarot is the first card, the 0 card of the major arcana, which is the most like archetypal part of the deck and the part of the deck that Olivia and I will focus on in our group together, related to the tarot. So we were thinking that Olivia, similar to the last episode of like, I think 2 episodes ago was me channeling the High Priestess, and the last episode was me channeling the Empress, that Olivia might channel the Fool as a way to like explore her identity. Here's specific language. The way your identity right now in your life as Olivia is currently playing out that mirrors the archetype of the Fool. Like, let's talk to that part of yourself.
Great.
So, would you like to just start with maybe how you're relating to the archetype of the Fool as like sort of a warm-up, like before we go into the interview?
Yeah, I think I'm struggling a bit because I'm thinking of like the Fool on the one hand is like, no idea what's going on, and that's like problematic. And then the Fool where it's like, no, that's great. Embrace that. How wonderful that is that there's this ambiguity. I'm very much in a transition stage where like I got 3 weeks left of grad school, and then I'm officially like a real employee at Effective Artistry.
Woohoo! We love you so much.
I love you guys too. Navigating like how to build a client base and what kind of people I want to work with, what kind of people want to work with me. Right now I feel like I'm throwing spaghetti at the wall and like changing my bio all the time to see, okay, what's going to stick? What's going to resonate? I had something about something and I was like, oh, actually, that's not the kind of clients I want to work with. And it's just experimenting with who I am. I feel like I'm 22 again and having that identity crisis a bit. It's really scary because I know myself so much better than I did at 22, but I'm also starting anew. And it's when you work at a place that is so focused on authenticity and just being who you are, that's very scary, because it's like, oh, the tool, my work is me. I can't hide behind the masks that I did as an actor. I have to play Olivia, and who is Olivia?
Woo.
Yeah.
Oh, that's so beautiful. Thank you so much for sharing.
Yeah.
That's amazing. Yeah, I was thinking about how the path of, like, what does the average graduate therapist do and all of that stuff, and how our practice and, like, our, like, work family, we are thinking the opposite. We're saying, who are you, Olivia? What do you want? What does your path look like? Like, yes, you're a therapist, you have a past, you have your own, like, you have all the things about you, but also what do you want, instead of like, how can you fit the mold of what our practice can have you do for us? It's like, how do you want to fit as yourself in the family of this practice, which is much scarier, but
It's so
also
much
much more
scarier.
exciting.
Yes, it's so fulfilling and exciting, but there's also that little fear of like, is anybody going to want to work with me? And I know that's not true. I'm great. I love myself.
Yeah.
Of course people
Yeah.
are going to work. But it's like, until that happens, it's like, I feel like I'm screaming into a void a bit. And
Yeah. Yeah, it's really hard to, even if parts of you believe that your dream is possible, it's hard to believe it's possible until at least parts of it happen. So I do feel like potentially the first few clients you get as a like official employee therapist, that might help solidify that. But also there's sort of the eternal question of like, who am I? What is authentic me? How do I want to show up in the world? What people do I want to help? How do I want to make change? And that is very much the fool's journey of like ambiguity. So I'm thinking about how on the zero card, the fool card at the of the tarot, that the fool is stepping off of a cliff in a way that looks like, I'm gonna use he steps off the cliff in a way that looks like he's literally just walking.
Yeah.
And so the idea, but then my interpretation of the fool card is he knows he's walking off a cliff. He's just doing it in such a like joyfully foolish way that there's actually wisdom to it. And I feel like there's something about that with your transition of coming on as like a full-time therapist at Effective Artistry, where like you're walking off a cliff, but if you do it joyfully and authentically,
Yes.
I think it will go very well.
Yes. I think so too. I think so too.
So let's start with channeling. Okay, so this is sort of how I think of it, is there's a part of you that is the fool, and that part of you is sort of knocking on your door right now more in your life. He's showing up more often, and he might be making a bit of a ruckus in some ways, but he also is exciting in other ways. So could you start by speaking as the fool? What does he want to say to us to start the conversation?
Olivia, you love playing. You
Oh.
love it. You love learning new things even though they're hard. You love it. It's so scary, but it's like skydiving. Like, just dive and the joy is going to come with it. You just got to trust it.
Oh my gosh, I love that. So what are you seeing in Olivia that's calling you to speak to her in this way? I'm hearing a lot of like excitement and trust and joy.
Yes, I think she's got the anxiety piece nailed down. But I think I think she is forgetting how wonderful this is, how lucky she is to get to have these opportunities and to endeavor in them, because so many people long for this and want this and they're afraid, and I'm showing her she can do it and she's done it before.
Oh, wow. So what do you think Olivia embracing the fool more in, let's say, for the rest of the day might look like? Like, what might you encourage Olivia to do?
I think trusting the process. I think it's like, yeah, you might feel anxious, but so what? Like, it's okay. It's fun. Like, laugh more at this. Play more with this. Allow yourself to get messy. You always talk about being messy, but get messy and, like, look at the mud on your face and look at the story that's being told because of this stuff that you're falling into. It's fun.
So I'm going to start playing. I wouldn't call this Olivia's self. I would call this the part of Olivia that is afraid of the transition coming up. And maybe a part of Olivia's life that's being activated is when she was around like 22, making the transition to like becoming an actor. Is that accurate? Around that time, like graduating from college?
Sure. Yeah.
Okay, so what you're saying, Fool, it's inspiring me and it's exciting, and part of it is actually sort of making me giggle, like trust, like I pictured you like falling off a cliff, but in like a beautiful way again. I'm still terrified in my body and I do not know what to do with it. I
Do
don't know what to do with this fear.
anything. Do a cartwheel. Anything.
Ooh, a cartwheel with the fear.
Do a cartwheel. Take a class. Talk to somebody. Anything.
Hmm. I was thinking about clown school in Italy and sort of playing, like being foolish, taking my anxiety and the heaviness I'm feeling of like this transition and figuring out who I'm going to be as a therapist and taking that anxiety and turning it into play, like turning it into silliness in a way that
Yes.
is like wise.
Yes. Be silly. Show people
Oh.
that silly can be serious.
Do you have any advice on how to figure out like what clients I want to work with and what that might look like? I'm getting really stuck and I feel like I'm just throwing mud at the wall with these like profiles and who do I
I
want to work with?
One, I think that's going to change all the time. But
Ooh,
I
I
think
haven't thought of that as much lately. I've been thinking of it more as like I decide something and maybe it changes to a certain extent, but like I'm deciding something.
yeah, you know what? Nothing's permanent. And I let
That's
that go.
relieving.
Yeah, let that go.
Ooh,
You can change your mind at any point. And that's
yeah,
so cool, right?
yeah. Wow.
Yeah. And maybe some of that mud or spaghetti, whatever you're throwing at the wall, maybe a few of those stick for a couple years, and then you're like, huh, I don't resonate with this anymore. That's okay. You played for a bit.
I guess I'm worried that I might get clients I don't enjoy working with, or I get clients that think I'm going to help them and I don't help them, and I'm concerned that that might make me feel like I'm failing as a therapist.
Mm, mm. No. As long as you name it and say it out loud, you're not failing as a therapist or as a person. Does that
Hmm.
make sense? You said a lot of things, so I was trying to respond to it as a whole because I forgot everything that you said.
Yeah, the two things I'm afraid of with attracting clients as I like come on board as a full-time employee, one is attracting clients I don't enjoy working with, and the second is attracting clients that don't feel like they're getting the help they hoped for.
Mm. If it's the first one where it's clients you don't enjoy working with, that's what you said?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
There are so many ways you can, one, name that in the space with them and be like, huh, I don't feel like I'm enjoying this right now. Let's talk about that. And also seek supervision and know that
Mm-hmm.
it's not permanent and you can explore more about yourself through that. That's cool. How cool is that you get to discover something about yourself when you're feeling uneasy? Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
And then
And what about the second?
the second one that that you're afraid that you're
I'm
not gonna.
afraid that I'll attract new clients and I'll enjoy working with them, but they won't get what they want from therapy, and I'll feel like I've failed them because they won't get what they're looking for.
Check in with them. Talk to them. That's not on you to hold all that. That's crazy, girl. Talk to them. See what they want. Work together as a team. Model for them that you don't know.
Hmm. I was just thinking about my relationships and being more foolish in them too, and new beginnings and new frontiers. And I think it's hard for me right now to have so many transitions happening at the same time, and then to be at a practice that is like, be you, Olivia, be
Yeah.
you.
Yeah. I think keep name. I know. Keep naming that. Keep acknowledging it, and don't expect it to be perfect because that perfect doesn't exist. Absolve that and accept that it's not gonna be this linear thing. It's gonna be swoops and whirls and curves and ups and downs, and what a fun roller coaster. Hop on, put your arms up. This is a part of your life you'll never get to experience again. And you're gonna be thinking about this in years from now of, oh my God, remember when I was on this wild ride and I had no idea what I was doing? But I was riding it and I was smiling. Wind in your hair.
Wow. I'm thinking about an image of being on a, what is it called? A roller coaster and having the wind in my hair and then like puking to the side of me and then getting back and be like, wait, I'm still having fun. Ah!
Yes,
I'm
yes.
just worried about those pukes.
Yeah, we're gonna puke in life sometimes. It would be weird if we didn't. We're gonna get sick. We're gonna feel scared. But does that mean we shouldn't enjoy the ride?
Let's switch. I'm the fool now and you're Olivia. Where would you like to start, Olivia?
Where would I like to start? I've been thinking that every day I'm finding more of myself. And I hear you talking about how it's okay to change. But I feel like I'm so rapidly changing that that's a bad thing.
What is bad about how rapidly you're changing? I'm a little confused.
Yeah, that I'll never be able to identify the kinds of people I want to work with or like have work with me, that I'm going to give up on things.
Rapidly changing doesn't mean you can't make a choice. It's just you make a choice and then maybe you make a different one. And maybe the time you make the different choice is sooner than you would have wished. But I wonder if perhaps you're thinking more than you're acting. And so like trying to like it like when I think of embodying the fool is often moving. The fool isn't just thinking, and the foolishness is partially the people looking at the fool being like, that fool looks foolish.
I start to move, and then I get scared of being annoying. I get scared to do a follow-up with things. I get scared of being seen too much.
Oh, that's sort of heartbreaking.
So what do we do?
I'm actually feeling much more emotional than it seems like you are. Are you feeling emotional about this?
I think I'm doing a lot of heady stuff, where I'm still thinking about it and like logically I can be like, yes, just do the thing. I don't know. I'm having this identity crisis, genuinely. Like, I went on a walk with my partner and I was talking about like, okay, how do I market myself? How do I show myself? And I was feeling self-conscious about the way that I was showing up on social media, because I'm like, you're just being vulnerable. You're just being you. There's no jokes in there. There's no nothing. You're not being goofy, and you are a goofy person, but why aren't you showing that? Do you even have a goofiness?
You're just being you? Can we slow down? You're just being you? Whoa!
It doesn't feel like enough.
What?
It doesn't feel like enough. It feels like I need to be showing something else or other parts of me that I haven't figured out how to communicate or show yet.
Let's talk about those other parts. You were saying goofy. Is it a goofy part or what?
Yeah, my like sense of humor. I feel like I've lately just been showing like, here's my life and you could relate to it too. I'm sad. This is me, blah blah blah. But there are also like, I do have a sense of humor, but I'm sitting here being like, how do I illustrate that? How do I
You know what? I'm actually thinking the bigger problem is just to continue to do things, things versus to look at whatever you perceive as a failure or a success and try to change it. I sort of like I'm curious what metrics you're observing that are making you think you need to pivot, because I wonder about the
No, I think you're right.
Yeah, go ahead. What are the
No, I think it's like if there's not immediate feedback, it means something is wrong and that I need to pivot everything I'm doing versus just continuously putting myself out there.
Yeah, like I was just thinking about your Dress to Express videos, and it's possible that some of them might end up being very funny, but if you try to think like, okay, we have to go back to the drawing board and start over, and we
Right.
have to have it be funny and entertaining, it can't just be like sad and relatable content, then
And you know
that
what?
freezes you.
I think
Freeze!
I think that's what happens often in my life. Like
Yeah.
for everything. Like even the other day I was thinking like, "Oh my god, do I want to stay at effective artistry? Maybe I should just give up." Like just this anxiety
Yeah.
of like when I'm not getting this immediate success or gratification, it's like, "All right, give up." Like I'm amazed I made it through grad school. Like that is a
What do you
process. Good.
amazed because grad school is like 3 years or two
Because
years? Or
because it's a commitment to like
oh,
some things that were not enjoyable and
yeah.
uncomfortable. I think about every thing that I've picked up and then put down because it was hard to learn it. And when
Mhm.
I'm a pretty quick learner, but when I don't get things right away, which is the part of learning, it drives me crazy. And just being a baby or an
Mhm.
infant at something is really scary.
What are the things you're trying to get?
I don't know.
When I don't get what I'm trying to get right away, that's part of learning.
Oh,
What is,
what am I trying to get? Trying to be more known. I'm trying to get clients. I'm trying to connect with people in some sort of way.
Mhm.
Yeah.
And how is it not working?
It's not working at the speed that I want it to. I want it fast. I want to be fast food and ready. But
So is it working? So it's working in ways that you could say it's working, but it's just not working as quickly. Like, I guess a specific question would be like, are you connecting with more people?
attempting to, but then it does become that freeze when I don't know. I don't know. I'm getting in my head right now and I almost want to give up this conversation.
Why do you want to give up the conversation?
uh cuz it's making me think. And I'm trying to not think. I want to just like I don't know, play and like play a game or move my body or like I'm so tired of being serious and like I just want to like I don't know, throw things. I want to like break glass.
Yeah, it's interesting. My thought was, oh, I think we're getting somewhere now. Like
That's probably why I'm
about
scared.
20 seconds before you said, "Oh, can we just?" I mean,
Hmm.
you can move your body when we're talking. You were just moving your body.
I know.
Yeah. Um, do you want to give up and talk about
No,
something
keep
else?
going.
Okay.
Keep going.
Okay. Um, one of the things I think now I'm definitely transitioning more into Caitlin
Yeah.
out of the role play. So now I am Caitlin.
Hi, Kaylin.
Um, I think you might be conflating not getting what you want as quickly as you would like with failing. Like you're acting as though you're
Hmm.
failing, even though you're not failing. And I think that's part of the freeze response.
Yes. And yes. Hmm.
And then the going back to the drawing board, I think is part of acting as though you have failed
Hmm.
instead of like, I'm getting what I want. It's just slower than I'd like, which is still, I guess, it's a type of failure because it's like, I want, I don't know, let's say one new client a week or something. So
Hmm.
that's a thing where you might be getting new clients, but maybe it's once one new client a month or something. So you can technically fail at like whatever timeline you've set out for
Hmm.
yourself, but it seems like whatever your goals are, that you're not failing at them, it's just happening slower. And there are ways to then adjust your approach because it's happening slower. So it's like a
Mhm.
legitimate concern. But I think this conversation I'm imagining you having, where it's like, well, do I have to be funny or something? That to me sounds more like a panic, go back to the drawing board, like as though you are legitimately failing.
Mhm. Yes. And I had 1,000 thoughts when you were saying all this, and I can't remember a single one of them. Um,
Are you panicking?
no, no, I'm not panicking. I had a
I
lot of
would
good.
love for you to, I'm going to challenge you to interrupt me more the next time that happens, if it happens again in this conversation.
Okay, it probably will. Um, say whatever your last thing was that you said. If you.
Um, I'm starting to panic now and I can't it might have been something like conflict. I think the general thought was
Oh,
you're
I know what I was
acting
gonna
as though
say.
you're, go ahead.
Um, I think I am noticing all the things that are not going right, and I want to direct my attention towards things that right, whatever, towards more positive things and uh, like changes within myself that are awesome. Like I noticed today with my client, yesterday with my client, I I am a different therapist than I was last week because this week I was approaching it more as like I don't know, what do you want to say? Like I wasn't trying to figure out like I wasn't feeding them stuff. I was letting them do more work than me doing all the work, and that was a
Yeah.
big change for me. Um, and not feeling like I had to fix anything right away. I was able to say at the end of a session to my client, "Shut up," and like that felt great to like tease the thing that we're working on, and that's growth for me. But I don't take time to acknowledge those kind of things. I'm more just like, okay, what can we do to get better? What can we do to get better? But I don't celebrate as much as I would like to.
I'm glad to hear you celebrate.
Yeah. So that's me celebrating.
So maybe that's, are you identifying that as part of acting as though you're failing? Is like if you're just focusing on the things you'd like to improve, then you might feel like you're failing. But if you're
Yeah, if that's all I'm
focusing with,
looking at, then of course I'm gonna feel like I'm failing. But like, girl,
Mhm.
look at yourself from a month ago, a year ago. Like, this is not nothing. This is
Oh,
so
it's so
cool.
much.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah. Hmm.
And it's hard because we only know ourselves, and we're with ourselves all the time. But I mean, I could compare myself to a classmate, and I mean, everyone is growing in their own way, but I feel like a very significant growth and difference in myself compared to a lot of
Oh,
people I know. But I'm like, but yeah, that's just your life. Like, but you always want
so,
more.
what is the biggest thing that's nagging on you that's making you feel like you're failing? What's the
um,
thing that comes up?
it's I just want to be seen more. I want to be known in some way. I still feel very small. Um,
What would be being seen or known? What does that look like? That's a very general statement.
yeah. Shh. Yeah, I know, Caitlin.
I
I
have
think
guesses if you want me to guess, but
no. Being seen is okay. On social media, there's like a lot of people who lurk at profiles and watch you from afar, but never like comment. And then like months later, people they're called lurkers, and so months later or weeks later, people are like, "Oh my god, I love what you've been posting," and I feel like I have a lot of lurkers, but I don't know about them until much later. Um,
mm,
and I wish these lurkers would just show me themselves so I knew that people were taking in what I was saying instead of just watching from the sidelines. Like, I want people to reach out more to me. I want them to say, and they are. So I want to celebrate that. Like, I went to a reunion and people were like, "Oh my god, I love what you're doing. We should collaborate." People message me more frequently than I'm letting it out to be. But I'm just like, it's not enough. I don't know what would be.
I'm curious, is the trigger like looking at a post and it doesn't have many comments or likes? Is that what it is? Like, when does the thought come up first?
Yeah, I think it's a lot of that, especially when you're comparing yourself to everybody on the World Wide Web. It's
Mhm.
like, oh, 0 likes means failure. But then someone will message me and be like, oh my god, I love the series you've been posting, and they haven't liked any of my things. And I'm like, then show me!
Yeah, yeah. Hmm.
But you know what? I'm just as guilty as that. There are a lot of things I like but never like or comment on. I just kind of
Maybe
scroll
it's
past
not
them.
guilty, maybe it's not, it, maybe it's, I am also thinking about the type of content, like
Hmm.
content related to mental health, I think is way less likely to get engagement of people particularly saying something like, "Oh, I really relate to that. I relate to like trying to completely change my fashion identity after my body has changed." And like that's a huge thing, but
Yeah,
a lot of
I
people might not share about that.
totally. And like, I'm being vulnerable so other people can feel inspired to, but they don't have to do it right away. Brandon
Well,
was
they
asked.
actually might be vulnerable in more vulnerable because of your post, but just not in ways that you see.
Totally.
So then I think honestly, it's trusting that
Yes.
what you're putting out there is making change. You are getting some feedback that it is, but trusting in the process.
Yes. Brandon was asking, like, what are the kinds of people that you want to impact? And I had said the weirdos. Um,
Hmm. Hmm.
and he was like, the weirdos might not be the ones who are liking everything. They, like, you
No,
know,
they are not, in fact, Olivia. Can you
yeah.
see?
And so,
No, they are
and
not.
that was honestly really comforting to be like, yeah, the popular things everyone's liking and whatever, but like, do it for those people who are not. And like you're saying, trust it. And that's I just need to remind myself that, and that I do have an idea of the kind of people that I want to work with. It's just because I just said it. I literally just said it. But that might take more time than I want it to, and that's okay. So weirdos out there, hit me up.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm also thinking that like if someone self-identifies as weird, they might also be less likely to comment and share and
Sure.
like just their and so then I'm wondering about places where maybe it's like an article somewhere, like you
Mm.
write something that people can read and take in, and there's not any expectation of um like a back and forth sort of social media response, and you're sharing like a thought that you have towards people who might not as actively respond. So I don't know, I'm thinking about what does it, and then also like another concept of everything you put out there is a gift to your future self because you are establishing your identity as a therapist in different spheres, and you never know what like little seed will germinate and turn into a tree, but it will. You just have to keep planting.
Totally.
Um,
Like my tattoo. The
yes.
seeds we plant.
Oh yes, 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 yes. So you seem kind of angry to me right now. Are you
No,
angry?
not at all.
How
No.
are you feeling?
I feel good. I feel like I feel fine. Maybe antsy, but I think
Antsy. Okay.
yeah, not angry by any means.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Antsy isn't like I want. It's that craving of like wanting to do more. I want to like just.
What are you wanting to do? Tell me.
I want to tap dance. I don't even know how to tap dance. Actually, that's not true. I was in Alice in Wonderland, and I played the
Oh,
Dormouse, and the character the Dormouse was based off of was Shirley Temple, and so I bought myself tap shoes and taught myself a little bit of some combinations, but that was it, just enough to like do a few little scoop bops.
oh, that's so fun.
um, yeah, I'm craving more communities. I'm craving connecting with people. I've gotten
Mm-hmm.
pretty close with Samira here. She's one of the therapists here. We like go on
Hmm.
walks together and like are planning like a whole nutrition journey together, which is really exciting. And
Oh, that's great.
yeah, she lives like 8 minutes away from me, and that has been really life changing for me. I'm like, oh my gosh, I have a friend who, like, if I had a stressful day at work, she will, like, go on a walk with me. And it's really, really nice.
And that's so good for her, too.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
So,
that makes me so happy. And you
so,
guys might be starting a baby together, too,
yes,
which is great.
we will.
Yeah.
So I'm just thinking about the value of people. And yes, I have that here at Effective Artistry, but wanting to have it in other places of my life, too. And so thinking about other communities that I can connect with, whatever that looks like, theater companies, or being a part of a D&D group and having every whatever night I do this with them. Just tapping into my creative soul, I think, is something I'm really, really missing. It's that creativity.
I keep picturing you doing like a drama therapy workshop at like a local school, or a drama therapy like intervention at like a theater company or something like that, to sort of like, almost the question would be, where can you practice your identity as a therapist with people who either have, number one, not experienced you as a therapist yet but know who you are, or number two, don't know who you are and don't know you as a therapist, like they don't know you at all.
Yeah, and I think I work at a behavioral hospital where I do drama therapy groups, and that's fulfilling to an extent, but because it's always new people, I don't get to create these long-term bonds with them.
Yeah.
And so I'm really missing that, where I get to direct a show and I get to be with these people for 3 months, 4 months, and really get to, like, dig into stuff, whereas, like, every group feels like I'm just starting from the beginning of, like, this is blah, 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 blah. Like, I wanna dig and play consistently with people for a long period of time. Yeah. Play with me!
What do you imagine that looking like?
It's, honestly, I've had this vision in my head for a couple weeks of, like, reaching out to either, like, an LGBTQ group at a high school, or, like, the poetry club at a high school, and being like, let's collaborate with your theater department and tell your stories. And
oh, I love that.
Find a way to do that healthily. That's kind of what I'm thinking right now. Maybe like a 3-month contract or a 4-month contract where we really explore together that. Yeah.
Wow. I love that.
Yeah.
And could you weave in mental health themes too?
100%. Yeah. That's why I'd want to be at longer term, so we can have the discussions, and, like, I can lead group therapy somewhat, and then okay, you guys go home and write blah 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 blah, let's see what your story looks like now, okay, blah 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 blah, and then we'll put on a performance at the end of it or something.
Oh, I want to be a part of that.
Come on over, baby.
Yeah I've been thinking a lot more about my high school self recently. I think part of it is moving back to my hometown, but I also think it's that I'm feeling a lot more freely engaged with music, and I felt that way as a high schooler. Sort of the musical world is at my fingertips and I can do anything, like that sort of feeling, and then doing stuff and having it all work out, so like it kept getting reinforced. And so I've been there. Anyway, I can imagine you doing really beautiful work with that age group.
Yeah, me too. And I want to hear more about your music, and if you have any, besides the Instagram you're talking about, plans for that.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it could be definitely useful for me to say this on the podcast, because I think it makes it more likely to happen. So, sort of the way to blend my musical identity with my therapy identity, which I actually think are much more similar than I've acknowledged for quite some time, is to have, so some of this might be kind of a repeat of what I told you before we started recording, but so to have my identity as a musician, to have the part of it being like celebrating the divine feminine, which I think relates to the pottery I've done, and it also relates to sort of like it relates to the liberation work I try to do as a therapist. It also relates to demonstrating the creative process. And then I was thinking about weaving that in with identifying as neurodivergent and trying things because I find I've been doing this thing where when I work out, instead of listening to podcasts, I've been listening to music recordings I made of myself, and one of
Mm.
them I made December 12th, 2024, and I listened to it and I was like, I need to do the world the favor of having this out there
Mm-hmm.
because at least my mother listening to this, she might smile. Like it
Mm-hmm.
could be one person, but so I've been starting to think there is healing. I think hearing someone sing in particular can have a healing effect on people.
Mm-hmm.
And so I thought about like the magic of beauty. There's this witch named Veronica Varlow that practices bohemian magic and forgot what word she uses. It's a word of like beauty magic. It's a different word, but essentially beauty magic and aesthetic magic. And she like it's all about aesthetics, but in a way that doesn't feel vain at all. It feels like celebrating the beauty that the earth is like capable of. And I
Mm.
feel like there's something about some of the music I've recorded and just kept on my iPhone that feels so purely beautiful that it would just be a little gift in someone's day.
Yes.
Like just a tiny, tiny bit of hope, a tiny bit of beauty, and so I was thinking, oh, if I can demonstrate for like my many creative clients who struggle with the creative project process and like perfectionism, also interweave that with identity exploration and spirituality. And so all of that is to say, my idea was to do, which I think I may have talked about, but anyway, all of that is to say, my idea was to improvise on archetypes of the major arcana of the tarot on piano and voice and
Yes.
record them imperfectly as like not imperfectly, sorry, unfinished and to post them and have it be sort of a hey, I'm a creative person demonstrating that things don't have to be finished to be shared. Also, this is magic and this is witchcraft and this is liberation. And also, you can do this too. You can play as a form of healing.
I love that. When are you gonna do it?
Um, I was thinking about recording. So the an executive functioning thing I keep doing is I will sit down at a piano and I'll press record on my phone, but I
Mm-hmm.
won't do a video. And when I just record, it's not a thing I want to post because there's not a video.
Yeah.
And so I think a good challenge for me before we record our next podcast is to sit down
Mm-hmm.
and turn on the video and just see what happens. And I don't have to post it, but just to see what happens if the video is
Mm.
turned on, because then it at least makes it possible for me to use
On the
the recording.
contrary, I have a lot of like voice book samples of like me recording audiobook samples
Yeah.
for auditions and things and blah blah blah. And I remember I wanted to share them, but I'm like, it's just my voice. And so what I did is I found like people who provide their free animations, and I found some that like matched up with my voice. And so some of them it was just like flowers blowing in the wind, and then I had my voice over the flowers blowing in the wind, and that was a way that I shared my voice. So if you don't have a video, that is a way that you can find like free videos that might match up with the vibe.
Wow. I'm so glad I talked to you about this. I never thought of that. 'Cause
Yeah.
yeah, I recorded this like siren song thing when I was driving on an interstate, and so it wasn't a video, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
And I was listening to it and I was like, I don't know if I can recreate this, and I don't really want to try because part of
Mm-hmm.
why it was so great is that it was totally made up in the moment. And
Mm-hmm.
so that could be really, I could picture like a video of us a mermaid with like long red hair and like on a big um rock with like the sea like hitting the rock and then like the waves going
Even if it's just like a PowerPoint of different pictures popping up, like having some sort of visual aid, you know? It doesn't have to be, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, I would love for you to come visit me in
I
this
want to.
town. Yeah.
I'm like, let's hang up so we can figure out when we can meet.
Yeah. But it was fun playing with you today, and
Yeah.
I was really struck by the fool archetype that you were playing out because she was so joyful,
Yeah.
and that exists in the Fool tarot card. Like, there's
Yeah.
definitely joy to be had in the image, but I never really think about the joyful component when I see it. So there was something so beautiful about hearing you speak as the Fool and how playful and joyful being foolish can be. So that's what really struck me, and also the decisiveness you had the
Yeah.
answers in. And so like joyful and decisive and fun, it made me want to follow you. It made me
Yeah.
also want to move and be silly and
And
play.
and embodying that too was like, oh, this is possible. Like it was really
Yeah.
nice to remember like this part of you does exist and you can tap into that whenever. It was fun.
Do you have any thoughts about the role play or what we talked about? Any impressions?
Um, Probably, but like I am after seeing a movie, it takes me a little bit to like remember everything.
Oh
Not that I have to
yeah,
remember it,
yeah.
but it was fun to be in the position of being interviewed as a character. I don't feel like I've done that in a while when I've gotten to be a character. Um,
Yeah, yeah,
yeah, I miss that, so I think that's what I'm taking away. But also
yeah.
remembering that the character is still me. Like that was all me. That's all stuff that I have inside of me already, you know?
That's why I like blending IFS, like internal
Mm-hmm.
family systems, ideas of you are playing the archetype inside of yourself. So
Mm-hmm.
this is still a part of you. It's in your system, in your body, in your soul. It will be with you forever. We're just accessing this part of you because then I feel like it blends like play and archetype and character development while also owning that like this is you, your body is the instrument you're speaking
Mm-hmm.
through this, and like you are coming up with this, a part of you is. And
Yes.
so
I
yeah,
just I wanna
go
hold
ahead.
hands. I wanna hold hands with the fool that I made today, and like you said, and follow him around. Like I want be like, let's look at the world
Yeah.
together.
Yeah, and in reading, sometimes when the fool comes up, it can be really scary because people
Mhm.
see the word fool and they're like, foolish, oh my gosh, and then imposter syndrome and all of that. So I loved your embodiment of the fool because she was so joyful. I was like, yes, I want to be foolish
Yes,
too. Please give me
yes,
fool.
and so that's so telling too that that's what I chose. Like, I mean, there's so
Oh
much
yeah,
there,
I
right?
loved it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, that was my immediate impression is like I love Olivia's Fool. There's so much wisdom in Olivia's Fool, and also Olivia's Fool's so much fun. Can I
Let's
please
hang
like be
out.
friends? Yeah, yeah,
And what's
yeah,
I mean, like we just said it, but what's so exciting is like, oh, I get to hang out with that whenever I want.
yeah. She's
How,
in you.
yeah, how cool is that? Um,
Yeah, and you can channel her. You can ask her questions
yeah,
and see what she says.
I should just like write back and forth to her, act out stuff.
Yeah,
So
I've
many
had
ideas.
clients who do dialogues with their parts, and it
Hmm.
can be really useful to write it out and sit down and kind of meditate on it and see where it takes you.
Yeah, I'm
So,
almost thinking like comic book style too, of like having them talk to each other and drawing them out and then enacting the comic. I don't
and that's
know.
the thing, you could
Yeah.
you could post that on social media. I mean,
Yeah.
you could also like have a tie that you wear when you're playing the fool and then have a shirt that you wear when you're playing Olivia and just split screen and there you go.
Incredible. I also have a puppet
So,
that looks like me. I could use that puppet and do something with it.
oh, that would be great. Oh, I would love that. I want to watch that, please.
Oh my god, I do too. We have matching shirts, and she's got a clown nose, so that would be really funny.
Oh, is that the photo on your
Yeah,
effective artistry page? Oh, I love that. Yeah,
that's
that's great.
funny. Okay.
Well, I'm so glad to be here with you today, and I would like to do more play next week. Maybe we can choose another tarot card and one of us can play and the other one can. Or
Yeah.
maybe we could both be cards.
Or maybe we
Or tell me
bring
more.
maybe we talk about our favorite things that we did as children. They're how, like, I don't know. Maybe we bring our favorite toy or our favorite song from childhood or
Oh,
something.
yeah.
There's something here, though.
Yeah, I love that. Well, thank
Okay.
you for being with me today.
Yes, thank
This
you,
was great.
everybody.
Yeah,
Thanks,
thank you.
Caitlin. Love you all, and we'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week.
Bye.
Yay!